here in Austin, Texas for another episode of Stateside Footy, the cable access television program featuring Australian rules football as it's played here in the United States. Hello and thanks for tuning in. As always, along with camera person Stacey Robert, I'm your host, Bill Robert. The American footy community has come here to Austin for the 2011 USAFL Nationals Tournament. Also showing up for the event, sustained winds and heavy rains. And we're here in it as well today to bring you another installment of our four-part special, Stateside Footy Goes to the Nationals. In Part 1, we saw the first action of the Boston Lady Demons, who were in a mixed team wearing the colors of the Columbus Jillaroos. Though they made a valiant comeback after falling behind to the Arizona-Calgary combined team, they were never quite able to get over the line. Final score, the Jillaroos going down in defeat to the Kookaburras by a score of 35-21. We also saw the first action of the Boston Demons men's A team in this tournament as they easily dispatched Portland by a score of 47-13. Well, maybe easy isn't quite the word to use, as the Demons did lose one of their members. Peter Hoban went off with a significant knee injury. He was taken off the ground and went to the hospital, was able to rejoin the club later after the game. So the Demons got off to a 50-50 start on this first day of action, and the weather has complicated things a bit, but the games will continue, rain or shine, as shall we. We've got another pair of tournament matches coming up this time out on Stateside Footy. We'll start this installment off with another look at the Lady D's and their fellow Jillaroos teammates. Of course, some playing from the Columbus team, others coming in from the Baltimore-Washington club. And today they'll be taking on the Minnesota Freeze. Once that's done, we'll bring you the opening action from the Demons reserve squad. They're also playing in a mixed team with players from San Diego and Seattle. They'll be taking on a mixed team from Dallas, Austin, and Portland. That'll be our second featured match today. Coming up, it's more Aussie Rules football from here at the Onion Creek Soccer Complex in Austin, Texas. It's our continuing coverage of the USAFL Championships on its way next as Stateside Footy Goes to the Nationals continues.
My daughter.
Come here.
I love you, Dad.
both teams are just about to take their sides of the field after getting the last few words before the match from the umpire. Of course, we're talking about the Jillaroos today taking on the Minnesota Freeze. Jillaroo is actually a combined team because each of the ladies' teams couldn't field a full 18-member team, so what they did was they combined teams. They do this a lot in the lower divisions as well as the women's division. And today what we have is an amalgam of the Columbus Jillaroos, the Boston Lady Demons, and also the Baltimore-Washington Eagles. So they're all going to be in action today. As far as their opponent today, it's the Minnesota Freeze, one of the few women's teams able to field a full squad, led by Catherine Hogg, who was one of the players who represented the U.S. in the International Cup this year. Another Freedom member on the Jillaroos, by the way, in fact, a few of them, Judith Stein, Karen Stabline, and Eileen Gagan, all of the Baltimore-Washington club, plus Emily Reel of the Lady Demons is in there too. And we're just about set to ball it up here. Last few moments from the umpire here, looking around, making sure everyone's in proper position. Not too many people crowding the center square. And here comes the whistle. We're just about to ball it up. And here we go. We've got footy. And the Freeze come right out with it, but can't get a clean clearance. They're trying to move it toward their attacking goals right now, and they do kick it ahead. It goes off a couple of hands, and heading for the goals, it's shanked, though, kicked well wide, and taken there. Looks like it's going to be marked. They've got a free kick there, as you see one of the Jillaroos on the mark there. And the kick coming in is going to go through, and I believe it's going to be wide. Indeed it is. Just have to double check, see the signal from the goal umpire. And let's see, he's got one flag going up, so that is a behind. So Minnesota takes an early lead here. It's 1-0 right now. The Minnesota team right now leading by one behind. Jillaroos yet to score. And the kick in taken by the Jillaroos, but then caught and marked by a member of the Freeze. And they'll make a kick towards goal now. And it's taken there. Nice job by the Jillaroos back line, stopping it there. And the free kick going to the Jills as they kick it out. Oh, just over a couple of sets of hands there. And going forward now, I believe that's Eileen Gagan. She tries to kick it. However, nobody there but Freeze members. And they take the mark and they'll play on. Kick in, and it's going to go. Let's see. That's looks like it was out on the full, which means the Jillaroos will get the free kick. Or is it? Did it? No, but dropped down just before. No, actually, no. That is free kick to the Jillaroos. Is the kick from the member of the Freeze went out on the full. Coming up now and coming in. Nice mark taken there by one of the Jillaroos. They've got. Players running, trying to get in position now. I believe that was Emily Reel who took that mark. And another mark taken by the Jillaroos. And now they start to move it. See if they can get it out of their back half toward their attacking goal. Right now the score 1-0 in favor of the Freeze. Kick to the center of the ground. Winds up going on the ground. Going after it, Lydia Holt, but she wasn't able to get it. And the Freeze try and kick it back to their end of the field. They've got it now, and they kick it ahead. And no mark taken, though. And the Jillaroos are bringing it up. Land short of anybody, though. And looks like the Freeze are trying to get possession back. It still goes along the ground. A bunch of people battling for it right now. Still on the ground. And we've basically just got a scrum there now. Ball goes back to ground. And moved ahead, Lydia Holt trying to get it in there. She can't. And it looks like the Freeze will be able to get their hands on it. Indeed, they will. And the kickoff. And a smother. Nice smother there by one of the Jillaroos. Right now, Eileen Gagan's got it, but she can't do much with it. I believe she may have been pushing the back, though. So she'll be getting the free kick. Good opportunity here for the Jillaroos. Here we go. Big kick in towards the forward 50. And, oh, it just goes off. It looked like it went off the foot of Lydia Holt. Goes out of bounds, but it did land inside the boundary line, so it'll be a boundary throw, and the kick won't be out on the full. And the throw-in comes in, taken by the Freeze, and they just knock it ahead, and they knock it back out of bounds. It'll be another boundary throw-in. Almost a quarter of a way through the first half of this one. Right now, one slim point lead for the Minnesota Freeze. They lead 1-0, one behind to nothing so far. And the Freeze try and move it out of their back half. And going to ground with it there. They've got it, and they kick it ahead. Kick goes along the ground. Goes past a couple of Gillaroos. Knocked over by a member of the Gillaroos, though, and she'll come up with it now. And a big kick out toward the boundary line. And marked by a member of the Freeze, I believe, trying for the spoil in there was, not sure if that's Calvillo that was in there. I don't believe so, but she's taken down, hauled down, and it looks like she'll get the free kick. The Gills will get the free, no, actually, it's holding the ball, it looks like, because the Freeze is getting the free kick. Sometimes with those spin tackles, the umpires can not take so kindly to those, but in this case, it's a Freeze free kick for holding the ball, handball over, and now they kick it up toward their forward 50. Taken by a Gillaroo, though, in defense, and she kicks it out. Ball skips to the ground, and is taken once again by Minnesota. They kick it ahead, and that looks like it's going to be out on the full. Therefore, the Gillaroos get another free kick. Gillaroos have had it in their forward 50 once. So far, they haven't been able to do anything with it. As they try and move it back there now. And the kick goes up and marked by a member of the Freeze. Minnesota takes the defensive mark there, and they're just going to try to advance the ball now. The ball goes to ground. And it's taken down there, and we'll see if they're going to ball it up there because a couple of players did fall on it. Whether or not there'll be some type of infraction called or whether it'll just be a ball up. Nope, the umpire's got it. He's just going to ball it up. And knocked out of the ruck by the Gillaroos. They're trying to make something happen with it now. They kick it ahead. However, it looks like it's going to go right. Oh, jumping over. Almost taking it there. Remember the Freeze going for the high mark. Just knocking the ball aside. Ball kicked by a member of the Gills going to ground now with it. That's Jen Vogel, member of the Lady Demons. She's hauled down, though. Double teamed. And she's going to get pinged for holding the ball. Minnesota will get another free kick. Minnesota once again with the lead right now. And she kicks it up. And they can't take the mark, but here come the Gillaroos now. Moving wide, trying to bounce the ball, but then losing control of it. Was a member of the Gills. She's still got it, though. Tries to move back with it, kick up with it now. Looking for Lydia Holt. Just goes through her hands. She's still fighting for it, though. She kicks it ahead, but the Freeze pounce right on it, and they kick it back toward their end of the ground. But it's taken. The defensive mark there by the Gillaroos, and they'll get the free kick. And they'll kick it ahead. They'll try and hug the boundary with the kick. Stays in momentarily. Eileen Gagan's there going after it. She's held up, though. I wonder if they're going to call holding the ball because it did not look like she had prior opportunity to dispose of the ball. No, they're going to call it. The Freeze will have the free kick. Knocked aside by a member of the Gills, and the ball goes down. Right now it's almost to the Gills' back pocket. They have to kick it up ahead now, going towards the center square. And now the ball's on the ground at the Freeze center half forward. Kick toward the goals now, and the ball is going to go deep there. Still a battle for it. Remember, the Freeze has it now. She can't get free to get the kick. Another one does, though. Looks like we've got another behind. Yeah, it bounces off the goalpost. Grubber was headed on the ground, was headed between the sticks, but then last second it took a bounce off one of the end of the balls, wound up hitting the goalpost, which means obviously a behind. And rather than being up 7-1, they're only up 2-1 now, with about 12 minutes left to go in this first half. Gillaroos so far with nothing to show for their efforts in handling the ball, and we have a stoppage in play. Minnesota once again getting a free kick. And it goes toward, and they're going to do it, kick it in, and it looks like another behind, will it be? Believe so. Yep, one flag goes up, so now Minnesota leading by 3 as they kick another point. Minnesota right now leading the Gillaroos by a score of 3-0. And the kick in by the Gillaroos once again falling into foreign hands, shall we say, as Minnesota tries to pick it up and do something with it. Kick smothered. Gillaroos trying to escape play, but kick smothered by the Freeze. And they'll pin it there in their front pocket. Gillaroos trying desperately to get it out of that particular part of the ground. However, the Freeze, they want to move it. They want to try and kick a goal here. Add to their lead, but the Gillaroos have it now. And off they go. Kick goes a little wide. Looking for somebody in space. Finding only a member of the Freeze, though. And right now on the mark for the Jeweleroos, I believe that's Amy Hogue of the Lady Demons. Wow, that kick is severely shanked. Headed for the boundary line. Question is, did it go out on the full, or will it be a boundary throw-in? It looks like it'll be a free kick. It went out on the full. The Freeze will have another free kick. Inside their forward 50. Can't get the kick to a teammate, though, and it goes over the boundary line. This time, it will be a boundary throw-in. And up it goes over everybody. And just soccered along the ground by the Jeweleroos as they try and get it out of danger. Kick goes toward the goals. It's taken there. And the kick goes in. It looks like it's been shanked. And indeed it has. Another behind. The Freeze so far, 4 scoring shots, all points. All single points. And right now they lead by a score of 4-0 as we just passed the halfway point of this first half. This is kind of the issue the Jeweleroos had in their first match, where they really didn't start very well. They got well behind in the first half, and they came back with a vengeance in the second half, but they couldn't score enough points to get back into it fully, and they wound up losing by a couple of goals. Actually, I believe 2 goals too. It's 35-21. And once again, moving toward the goals, but the Jeweleroos have it now. Jeweleroos trying to kick it out, but the Freeze have it now. They handball to a Jewelleroo, and she tries to kick it out now. I believe that's Christina Calvillo with it now. Well, that was Calvillo that had it there briefly. Once again, the Freeze, more or less right now, looking like they're playing keep away. And looks like we've got a free kick going to the Jeweleroos. And the kick out between the sticks, so I believe we had another behind there. So Minnesota now, 5-0. And once again, the kick out, so I believe we're at 6-0 now. So once again, you look at the difference in scoring shots, and it is quite significant. However, all 6 of those scoring shots so far have gone for single points. And let's see, that kicks over and goes right in. Minnesota still working, and they kick it ahead again, and that's another behind. So now Minnesota leads 7-0. 7 behind 7 as the first half begins to wind down a little bit here. The Jeweleroos once again take the kick in, and the Freeze take it. If the Freeze line up for major, they could have quite a significant lead here. Freeze taking the kick now. And the kick looks like it's, oh, it just nicks the post. So that's going to be another behind. And this is still very fortunate for the Jeweleroos, because the Jeweleroos have no scoring shots. The Freeze have 8. But the Freeze haven't been able to convert on any of them. All they've done is kick points. No goals yet for the Freeze. However, they have a chance here with a free kick. Goes in towards the sticks. And, wow, a couple of players hit the deck there pretty hard. And the umpire calls a free kick for the Jeweleroos, it looks like. A little bit of contact during that contest for the ball on the ground. On a short hop, it's got now by Emily Reel. Reel from the Boston Demons tries to kick it toward Lydia Holt, but it's taken by a Minnesota player. Then kicked to another player, but obviously didn't go far enough to constitute a mark. and chasing after her right now. Emily Reel does a nice job shepherding the ball, getting that Minnesota player out of the way, but then she's taken down, and I believe they're going to ball it up. As Emily Reel was tackled with the ball, but she did not have prior opportunity to dispose of that ball, so there's no way she can be called for holding the ball here. And indeed, the umpire calling for it, he's just going to ball it up right here. Just over 5 minutes left in the first half. And the Jillaroos needing some momentum in their end of the ground badly. Off of the rucking contest, it goes to ground once again, and they'll ball it up again. As you can hear in the background, that wind kicking up again. Just a wee bit. The weather has definitely made things interesting here today. And off of the contest, Emily Reel going after the crumbs, trying to soccer it ahead, but then it's taken out by the Freeze. However, the Jillaroos kick it toward their forward 50. Can't get it over to Lydia Holt, though. However, she's able to take down the player who chases the ball. But is she going to be called for a push to the back? Or, yes, it looks like she is. And the Freeze will get the free kick in their back pocket. Kick goes out and the mark taken. So another free kick at halfback flank. As kick towards center now. Another mark's taken and the handball ahead, but doesn't really go to anybody. It was kind of a weak handball. And there we go. Let's see. Just heard someone say ball. They were looking for a holding the ball call. There was a whistle. And indeed, they did get a holding the ball call because the Jillaroo now has a free kick.
Lizzie, to your right.
And it's kicked ahead once again into the Jill's forward 50. But once again, the Freeze right there on defense, trying to just soccer it ahead and get it out of danger right now. And indeed, looks like Lydia Holt had it momentarily in front there. And now it's kicked out once again by the Freeze. Past the intended target as it rolls up the ground. Still on its way up. Jillaroos try and kick it back now. And just lands in front of the Freeze player who was trying to take the defensive mark. Ball is still on the ground. A bunch of players going for it. And it looks like we've got a tackle there. No call for anything, though. No holding the ball, no pushing the back, no illegal contact, nothing. However, we've got something now that's being called as we have a stoppage in play once again. And we've got a free kick being awarded, it looks like. Indeed, it will be awarded. I believe that's Lydia with the free kick. She kicks it, goes toward the goals. Not far enough, though, and it's knocked out, and it's kicked. Let's see. It went up, but it came right back. I'm not sure if it bounced off somebody. It might have bounced off that far goalpost. If it bounced off the goalpost, it's considered a kick out on the full, but I think what happened was... I'm trying to figure out what happened here. Yeah, what happened was the Freeze player kicked it. It was in the air and it hit the behind post. Therefore, it constitutes a kick out on the full. And Real tries to kick it in, and they've got it. Lydia's got it right in front. Probably the best opportunity so far for the Jillaroos in front of their attacking goal. And the kick is up, and it's through. And indeed, 2 fingers, 2 flags. So at this point, I believe the Jills are still behind at this point. But the one scoring shot they have, they made it count. They've got the goal. And they're going back now. Back to the ball up at center. Andy Williams in the rucking contest now for the Jillaroos. She tries to hit out to advantage. And the Freeze take it now. And the Jills try and kick it up. Knocked away by a member of the Freeze. And here comes Minnesota once again. They're on their way. Kick ahead goes to ground. First person there will be wearing the pink Columbus jersey. But then the kick is smothered. Ball winds up going to ground. Looks like it's moving in the direction of the boundary, but then it's brought back. Jillaroos have it, however. It's taken there. Big tackle. And let's see, it's a high tackle. So the free kick will go to the Jillaroos. Kick goes well wide, though. Looking for Gagan. I don't think she's going to get there in time. We've got a whistle. Looks like we'll have a boundary throw in as the ball rolled out of bounds. Indeed, we will. Ball comes up. And once again, they battle for it by the boundary line. Still in play, though. And the Frees take it, and Gagan, I believe, tries to go for it now. And it looks like it's going to roll out of bounds once again, and it will indeed do that, and we'll have a boundary throw in. And trying to move it ahead. And it's knocked out once again. Out of bounds, we'll have the throw in. And it looks like that'll do it for the first half, and indeed it will. So we're done with one half of this one, and right now Minnesota's still leading in scoring shots and in points. However, Jillaroos, their one scoring shot was a goal. And we finish up this first half of action with the score. The Minnesota Frees, 8 behinds, 8 points. And the Jillaroos, 1 goal straight, 6. Coming up next, we'll have second half action for you right here at Stateside Footy. Goes to the Nationals continues.
The odds of this daughter of a clergyman spending 11 weeks at #1 on the U.S. singles charts? 1 in 19 million. The odds of going on to win 6 Grammy Awards? 1 in 1.4 million. The odds of having a child diagnosed with autism? 1 in 110. I'm Toni Braxton, and I encourage you to learn the signs of autism at autismspeaks.org.
Just about set for second half action here at the Onion Creek Soccer Complex in Austin, Texas, where right now the Minnesota Frees lead the Jillaroos by a score of 8 behinds, 8 points to 1 straight 6. And they're getting set for the ball up once again. They're getting everyone set from center. And there's the whistle. You can hear amidst the wind. And once again, we have got action. And it's knocked ahead. Both teams, obviously, they've switched sides now. So the Frees will be using the goals to the left. They'll be attacking the goals to the left now. And the Jillaroos will be attacking the goal to the right. And the ball does go to ground. And the Jills have it now. Big kick toward the sticks. And it looks like it's going to land outside. Will it still be in play, or will we have a boundary throw in? It looks like we'll have a boundary throw in. But that bodes well for the Jillaroos. Hopefully they can get their hands on the ball. They've got it right now in their right front pocket, or I should say the ball's in their right front pocket. And it goes over everybody, goes to ground. A Jillaroo tries to kick it towards goal, but she's dispossessed. And the Frees try to work it out once again. Kick up ahead. Going toward the sticks. And still in play. Goes along the ground now. The Frees try and get it out. And I believe that's Gagan. Gagan with a kick toward the sticks. And it's going to bounce, and it looks good. Got to see what the goal umpire says. Not quite. Oh, just a point. Just a point. So at this point, the Jillaroos still trail by 1 point. 8 behinds to 1 goal 1. 8-7 basically. And here comes the Minnesota kick in now. Goes to ground. Taken there, I think Gagan wants to put it toward goal again. However, she's unable to. It's smothered. But then, mark taken right in front. This could be huge for the Jillaroos. And the kick, it's shanked over, and they can't get it toward the goals, and the Frees will have it now. Battle on the ground, kick towards, and blocked! Smothered in front. One of the Frees just got in there before the ball was going to go through the sticks. And they try and kick it out now. That kick shanked a little bit. It's going to go over the boundary line, and we will have another boundary throw in. Right now 8-7 in favor of the Freeze. But the Jillaroos have it now. I believe that's Gagan. Big kick there, and it looks like it went right through. Indeed it did. The Jillaroos with the goal and now the lead as they hit the front 13-8. Once again, it's much easier to come back here when the opposition keeps kicking points. Think about that, 8 behind in the first half for Minnesota. If 4 of those had gone through, if they had just converted on 4 of those, you'd be talking it'd be like 40. Right now, actually, no, I'm sorry, not 4, 6, 24. It'd be like 28. It'd be 28-13 right now, but instead it's 13-8 in favor of the Jillaroos. And they ball it up once again at center.
This is fun.
And let's see here. Someone's playing Foo Fighters in the background as they do the boundary throw in here. And let's see here. The Jillaroos have it. They're working it toward their attacking goal once again, but the Freeze are getting in the way as best they can. And the Freeze actually do get the free kick here. They kick it ahead. No one there, though, and it looks like the Jills will have it. They kick it ahead, and it winds up in the hand, but it went through a couple of sets of hands, so it's not actually a mark. And it goes wide towards the boundary line. Still kept in play, though. And the Freeze play on. The ball is still rolling. Almost taken there by Calvillo, but then knocked aside by a Minnesota player. And once again, the Freeze just trying to advance the ball. The Jillaroos. The Freeze take it there, though. Still in play. And they've got a kick trying to get under there. I believe that's Lydia Holt once again. I believe she's got it. So Holt with a chance on this one here. And the kick goes through for another goal. Jillaroos picking up the pace now. And they now lead by a score of 19-8. Jillaroos, 3 goals, 1, 19 points. Minnesota just the 8 behinds. And once again, in something like this where you might very well have the postings and the standings divided, basically decided by percentage points, definitely want to get every point you can. It might work in your favor. Kick there, looks like it's going to go over the boundary line. Indeed it is. It'll be a boundary throw-in. Just about a quarter. In fact, we're past a quarter of the way now through the second half. And it gets thrown in, hits ground, but now winds up in the hands of one of the Minnesota players, and she's running with it. She kicks it ahead. And the Freeze still have it. They are on the move. Trying to kick to advantage. There's a battle for it now. Looks like Calvillo's involved there. She's tries to kick it out with the bottom of her foot. And once again, the Freeze denied there as the Jillaroos are able to get it ahead. And they're still on the move here. Jillaroo taken down, but ball is still in play. And the ball does go to ground now. Couple of players hitting the deck now. But they're playing on. The Freeze take it now. Big kick through center as you try and move it through the corridor. Can't do it, and right now looking to get it back are the Jillaroos. Continuous action here right now. As the Freeze and the Jillaroos battle in this tournament action here in Austin. And the kick. It's going towards the sticks. It's not going to make it, though. I don't think. Doesn't have enough momentum. But then it's soccered right through. And did that make it? Another behind. Once again, Minnesota kicking the points. Just a single point. And now it's 19-9. And we've got a whistle here. They want to redo the kick in, I believe. Looked like the kick in was taken out and it was marked, but apparently not. Oh, actually, I think what's happening is, we'll explain this in a minute. First, let's see how this plays out. Goes to ground. Minnesota battling for it. And it's taken there by the Freeze. They try, the D's rather, the Jillaroos. They try and kick it out. It just rolls along the boundary line, but stays in play for the moment. Still in play. As a couple of shepherd moves are attempted, and the Jillaroos get the ball momentarily, but now it heads back towards Jillaroo hands. And it's kicked. Oh, it's off the ground and hits the post. I say play on. And it's taken there by the Freeze. Calvillo tries to get it off the bound, but she's not able to do it. Trying to get it to someone who's clear. Trying to get someone with an open kick, and there's a tackle. No prior opportunity, and the ball hits the ground, so it's still in play. And ever since that aborted kick in, everything has gone this way, and kick goes towards the sticks. And that's a goal, the first goal for the Minnesota Freeze. And now after all that action, we'll go back to that and explain what happened. Basically, when you're doing a kick in from your own back goal square, you have to stay inside the goal square until you kick the ball. And I believe what happened here is the player making the kick in made the kick after she had left the goal square, in which case it's an automatic ball up at the top of the goal square, which is what happened. And therefore, that's why that kick-in didn't count, because a kick-in, they had a clear mark with that, but then they brought it back and just had a ball up there. So what happened was the player making the kick-in had left the goal square area before the foot had made contact with the ball. Therefore, they were penalized for that, and there was a ball up right at the top of the goal square. But now, Minnesota with the goal. It's now 19-15. Minnesota catching up. And the Jillaroos needing some momentum, and they're attacking into the ground now. And they try and move it up. However, the mark is taken by the Jillaroos. And it's kicked ahead. And it's taken. They gave her the mark, or do they? I believe that was Emily Reel. Yep. She's going to get the mark. And she makes a nice kick up and almost taken there by one of the Jillaroos. Ball goes to ground now. Still a battle for it. Here come the Freeze once again. And Reel with another mark, it looks like. She takes the free kick. And she's trying to get it in for a closer shot. It's not taken. It goes to ground. They're still battling for it. And, dispossessed there, one of the Jillaroos as she tried to pivot with it and put herself in a position for a shot on goal for a kick. And let's see now where it's going. It's going once again up the boundary line as the Freeze take it. Freeze right now only trail by 4 points. A goal will put them back in front. And we've got a stoppage in play. And the free kick awarded to the Freeze. Golden opportunity here for Minnesota. And we trail by 4. And handball there was taken away. I believe that was Andy Williams who got in the way of that handball. And she's got it now. Handballs it over. Tries to get it up to one of her teammates. And it winds up going up the ground. Kick comes back. And it's loose and it's kicked toward the boundary. First player there. It looks like it'll be a member of the Freeze indeed, but the kick was smothered, and here they come with it now. I believe that's, let's see, I believe that was number 5. That's Renee for the Jillaroos, and she just kicks it down the length of the field. And it's going to roll, and it looks like it'll go over the boundary line, but still a good result for the Jillaroos as they actually have a boundary throw-in pretty much at the right half-forward flank, if not the front pocket. Actually, no, right half-forward flank. Coming in now and put to ground once again. Players trying to get the crumbs right now, trying to come away with it. And it looks like they're going to ball it up. Number of players in there going for that ball. No one could maintain clear possession, so as a result, they'll just ball it up. Once again, hit out to advantage by the Freeze, but unfortunately nobody there. So the attempt goes over the boundary line. We'll have another boundary throw in. Goes over everybody. Taken, though, by a member of the Jillaroos. I believe that's Reel once again. Reel with a kick in toward goal. Is looking for somebody there. And it takes a couple of bounds. No one picks it up yet. Soccered out by a member of the Freeze. Time running out here for both teams. Right now the Jills are in front, but the Freeze seem to be moving back, and they trail now by less than a goal. If they can connect with another one, they'd be back in front. And after that tackle, the ball rolls. Player gets dispossessed, and it goes out of bounds. But no, it's going to be called holding the ball. Emily Reel making the kick. And the mark is taken by Lydia Holt. Holt kicks it up. And another mark is taken. And the Jillaroos are now just moving it up the ground. Let's see what happens here. Kick goes in, and I think it's going to make it all the way. Let's see what we've got here. No, that's just a single point. So the Jillaroos add to their lead, but Minnesota still can eclipse them with a goal. 3-2-20 right now to 1-9-15. And the kick in goes well wide. It's going to go out over the line. We'll have a boundary throw in once again. Australian Rules Football here in Austin, Texas. You're watching it on Stateside Footy as the Jillaroos take on the Minnesota Freeze. Jillaroos right now leading by a score of 20-15. And the kick in there. Going towards the goals. And it went through. And once again, another behind. So the Jillaroos adding to their lead. However, once again, Minnesota can tie it with a goal. Still a pretty close match. It's anyone's game as we are almost 5 minutes out from full time. And the kick in taken by one of the Jillaroos. That's a key play there. That's how the Freeze scored a bunch of their points in the first half. Oh, kind of shanked a little bit there. And it looks like it's going to go well out of bounds. It'll be a boundary throw in. In the first half, Minnesota got a lot of their scoring shots after scoring their behinds and having the goal square kickouts from the Jillaroos come right to them. So they took advantage of a lot of those. Unfortunately, they kept kicking behinds. They weren't actually able to kick goals. And we'll see what's going on right now right here. It looks like we'll ball it up. We're going to ball it up at the Jillaroos center half forward position. Hit out by the Freeze, and here we go. Minnesota is en route. The mark is taken, and they're just going to continue with it. They play on, and they take a bounce. Poor kick in. Still makes contact, and the kick. Gagan's there, I believe. Somebody's there anyway, and she's able to stop it and get it out of danger. And the ball goes to ground. Still on the ground. Couple of shepherding attempts there by both teams. And it's fisted ahead. And it looks like we got another free kick holding the ball. It's going to be called against Minnesota, so the Jillaroos will get the free kick. Is that real again? She's everywhere. Kind of like she was in the first game. And the Freeze get it. They kick it back. Emily Reel, one of the players going after it. Reel's got it now. Reel's able to kick it ahead. Ball still on the ground. Taken now by one of the Minnesota players. And no mark taken. She couldn't hang on to it. Oh. Let's see what we've got here. Looks like the free kick will be taken by the Freeze. Once again, right now, Jill's only up by a goal. And the kick goes wide. Taken by the Freeze, but Reel's right there, ready to tackle if need be. But the ball was just disposed in time. Freeze have it now at center. They try and move it ahead, but it looks like the Jillaroos will be the first players there, as everyone's still going for the ball on the ground. And it's the pass attempt there is taken. And the Jillaroos try and work it ahead. Indeed they do, and now Reel just puts her boot into it. Big kick there looking for Holt. Holt taken down. It was within the confines of the contest, so nothing called. And it looks like it'll go over, and we have a boundary throw-in or a free kick. And it'll be a boundary throw-in once again. Couple of minutes left. And it's taken and kicked ahead by the Gillaroos to their right half forward flank. And it looks like we'll have another boundary throw-in. Good result for the Gillaroos. They maintain it on their attacking end of the ground. They keep the Freeze from scoring, and they maintain their 6-point lead. Up it goes. And goes to ground. There's a huge battle for it. Kicked ahead. And with it now is Real. Real taken down. He's able to get rid of the ball in time, though. Loose ball right in front. And still got a battle for it right in front. And the kick goes towards Smothered. Ball still in play. Kick going toward the sticks. And it's a goal! I have no idea where that came from or who kicked it. But the important thing is it went right through the sticks. And indeed, they're calling it a goal. So now the Gillaroos have just doubled their lead. They now lead by 12, 4-3-27 to 1-9-15. With, according to our estimates, just over a minute left. So right now, that hole for the Minnesota Freeze just became much deeper and much harder to climb out of. But they're going to start the attempt right now. But Andy Williams is able to hit out to advantage. Freeze get a boot on it, though. And there's a battle for it along the ground right now. Going for it, there's Calvillo. Calvillo knocked down, but she's able to get it over. I believe that's Gagan with it now. And Real's got it now. She's got somebody lined up. And, oh, the mark is spoiled. Good play there by the Freeze on defense. But once again, they're on the wrong end of the field. They've got to get it up the field and in a hurry. And we've got a stoppage in play. Gonna try and ball it up real quick. Time almost out here. Gotta get everyone in position. And that's going to do it. And that's the ball game. The Gillaroos, once again, having to come back in the second half. But this time they made it over the line. They are victorious. And this ladies' game is done here at the Onion Creek Soccer Complex in Austin, Texas. The final score, the Gillaroos, which include obviously the Boston Lady Demons, the Columbus Gillaroos, and the Baltimore-Washington Eagles 27, and the Minnesota Freeze 15. Coming up next, we've got men's reserves as Boston, San Diego, and Seattle take on Dallas, Austin, Portland. That's coming up next on this edition of Stateside Footy Goes to the Nationals.
Hands can do incredible things. Now they can even help save a life with hands-only CPR. If you see an adult suddenly collapse, just call 911, then push hard and fast in the center of the chest until help arrives. Learn more at handsonlycpr.org.
Once again, you can hear the wind picking up as we get ready to bring you the second match of today's special episode of Stateside Footy Goes to the Nationals. Today we will have the first match from the Boston Demons reserve team. Once again, like the women's team, the reserves, they're not enough basically to make up a whole team, so they combine them with players, extra players from San Diego and Seattle. So they're going to be wearing the, well, basically they're going to be wearing the Demons uniform, so we're just going to call them the Demons once again, like we do with the ladies teams to make things simplified as far as identifying the teams. So Boston, San Diego, Seattle, we're just going to call them the Demons because, as you can see here, they are wearing the Demons uniforms. And the Dallas, Austin, Portland team look to be wearing the uniforms of the Dallas Magpies, so we're just going to call them the Magpies. Like we haven't seen that matchup enough over the last couple of seasons of Stateside Footy. Obviously, most times we're talking about the New York Magpies, not the Dallas Magpies, but Demons Magpies, always a good match here, and we'll see what comes of it today. Once again, as you can see, skies are overcast. You can hear the wind kicking up. Not exactly an ideal day. But once again, they do this rain or shine. And we'll be here trying to do our best to bring these to you. More action from the Boston Demons at the United States Australian Football League Nationals Tournament. And everyone's getting in position right now. I believe they're just about set to toss the ball up. Here comes the umpire now. Everyone's going into their positions for the opening ruck contest. Umpires get the ball right now. Get the whistle. Up we go, and we have footy. Second half of our episode, and hit out to advantage by the Magpies. They kick it ahead. And the mark, was it taken there? It doesn't look like it. It looks like they're still going after it. And it's taken once again. The kick goes up and high and goes to ground. And we do have a whistle now. As you can hear that wind just whipping right through. And the ball up and center half forward for the Magpies. Coming out, and it looks like the Demons are trying to move with it. And the ball now comes up the ground towards the center square. But the mark taken by a Magpie, and the Magpie kicks it in now. Kicks it deep, going for the sticks. And let's see. Oh, it's going to go out just outside. It looks like it'll be a boundary throw in the Magpies' right front pocket. Or they're calling for a free kick. No, I guess it's going to be a free kick. And kick goes through, and everyone's coming through right now, and hard to see what's going on here. I believe it was a behind. So Dallas Austin with a behind because the Demons just took a kick in. Didn't see a signal from the goal umpire, but there was a huge scrum down by there, so he couldn't really see what was going on. But since the Demons did get the kick in, that looks like a behind for Dallas. Demons trying to get it toward their goals now, but it's taken by the Magpies. But then they're held up a little bit. Ball goes loose and taken now by a Demon. Tries to move it ahead. Taken out by Magpie. That kick is smothered. And with it now, a kick smothered there by a Demon. However, he's able to get back to it and stop Dallas from advancing the ball. In the action now, Damian Hallam there for the Demons. And it looks like we've got a whistle. Will it be a ball up or a free kick? Player was taken down. Looks like it'll be a ball up. And he'll toss it up. And Magpie's going for the hit out to advantage, but it winds up in the hands of a Demon. Demons have it there now. However, that Demon dispossessed. Battle forward now. Still on the ground. Still moving around, though. No whistle yet. Now they call it. And holding the ball was the call against a member of the Magpies. So as a result, the Demons will get the free kick. Let's see who that is. Is that Petrino who had that free kick? Goes in toward the sticks. Marking attempt there spoiled, and the ball now goes to ground. It's kicked out. And goes off a pair of hands. And it's just soccered out by the Magpies. Got a player there with a helmet on. One of the soft footy helmets they have, almost like, looks like the leather helmets they wore back in, well, it's the same concept of the old leather helmets worn back in the early days of football, but not quite as rudimentary. And we have a free kick, and it looks like, is that a 50 being given to the, nope, just a free kick. I thought the way it was moving ahead, I thought they were giving a 52, but apparently not. But a free kick is going to the Demons. And it's taken there, a big high kick towards the sticks. And waiting for a ruling from the goal umpire. One flag goes up, so now we have a tied match. Right now it's Magpies 1, Demons 1. Magpies now will get the kick in from their back goal square. And they've got it now. Off it comes. Goes wide, looking for a Magpie. He can't get his hands on it, but couldn't keep control of it. So as a result, it's not a mark. Taken now by the Demons. They move it ahead. Hellam's got it now for the Demons. Kicks it over. And bounces off a couple of hands. Now goes to another Demon. He hits it ahead. And it goes to ground once again. Taken out. Here come the Magpies. Magpies with it now. Big booming kick through center. And, trying for the spoil there. Remember the Demons, but I think he get called for a push in the back. And Magpie taking his time getting up, but he is getting up. And the best thing about him getting up at this point is he'll have a free kick. Unless he comes off. I think he's coming off. I think the Magpies have their first interchange here. So the Magpies will take the free kick. And it goes to ground. And there's a battle for it now on the far side. And comes up now. Magpies still have it. Demons in control now, and they kick it ahead, looking to advance toward their attacking goal. And they can't take the mark, and it bounces off a player, goes out. Question is, did it go out on the full? Did it bounce off a foot? Are we looking at a boundary throw-in or a free kick here? Of course, it went down to the force, so we might, before we have the boundary kick or the throw-in, the boundary throw-in or the free kick, we might actually have the Lewis and Clark expedition to get the footy. Nope, here it comes. And it comes out now, and the Demons have it. And the kick rolling through, and it's still in play, it looks like. It's out now. We'll have a boundary throw-in. Good result for the Demons, though, as it will be thrown in at their left forward pocket. Give them a good shot for some type of scoring activity. And he's hauled down. Is able to. Oh no, he's caught for holding the ball. He didn't dispose of it in time. Actually had gotten the ball to a teammate, but it was after the referee had already decided that he was holding the ball. And the free kick from the Magpies now winds up in Demon hands. Hellam's got it, I think. Hellam kicks toward the sticks, and that's going to go through. That'll be a behind. So the Demons now taking a 2-1 lead with two behinds as Hellam kicks a point. So the Magpies score first, but the Demons come back, kick the next 2 points, and keep it in their attacking side of the ground. Magpies trying to move it out, but everywhere you look, you've got Demons. Demons using heavy pressure. And we've got a ball up coming up at the Demons' left half forward flank. And it goes to ground. Handball now by a Demon. Goes nowhere. Kicked by the Magpies, and mark almost taken by a Demon. Okay, soccered ahead, and the Magpie can't get it. Now it's a handball by a member of the Demons. Magpies have it now, and they're just going to try and run it up the corridor here. However, the Demons take possession once again. Kick toward the goals. Bounces off the ground once. Ball still loose. Under Demon control now. They kick in. Mark is taken. Free kick given to the Demons. Didn't see who took the kick, but terrific opportunity for the Boston Demons, the combined team here, Boston, San Diego, Seattle. Good shot for them to take an even bigger lead. And that's a goal. First goal of the match, and it's scored by the Demons. And now they take an 8-1 lead over the Magpies. Almost to the halfway point of this first half. And the Demons with the first major score of the match. As you can hear the wind in the background there. Tossing things around. Sustained winds today. We've had some rain too, which obviously is great for the area, as they've had like days of, and actually months of no rain. They're in the midst of a serious drought here. And right now, well, having a bit of a camera problem here. Damian Hellam takes the mark, and he's just going to advance it. And tell you what we're going to do. We're going to take a break right now while we get our camera problems finished. We'll be back in just a minute, and we'll continue with more of Stateside Footy Goes to the Nationals.
2 outs with a runner on first base. Now the big guy comes up to bat, hitting .342 with 92 RBIs and 36 homers. First pitch is fouled between back.
Chill raw and prepared foods promptly. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
We are back now, and we've had our camera problems fixed. We did miss one goal while we were away. The Demons did score another goal, so now the score stands 2-2-14 to the Magpies, 1 behind 1. And the Demons threatening once again. Trying to make something happen in their attacking half, but now the Magpies take it. A little bit of an interception there, and they are off. Big kick through the center of the ground and spoiled by a Demon. Nice job there. And they try and handball it ahead. And the Magpies on the march now. However, the mark is taken. Beautiful job there by the Demons. He'll play on. And the ball goes to ground. And we have a whistle. As it does go out of bounds, so we'll have a boundary throw in. And after that, there was a little bit of an infraction in the rucking contest. So as a result, Magpies get the free kick. And still working at it right now, trying to get it through the corridor. Trying to advance it even more. And the Demons get it. They kick it back now. And trying for a hanger there. I believe that was Helm. The Demons do get their hands on it, though, but then they're taken down and dispossessed before they can advance with it any further. And still a battle for it along the ground. The ball is still loose, so it is in play. And the Magpies take it down. They'll try and kick it back through the corridor. And taken there, goes off the hands of a Demon. And they move it ahead. Ball still in play. Actually, I think we've got a whistle now. And, nope, they're still in play, actually, as it moves ahead. Magpies get it now. And they kick it ahead. Trying to make something happen right now. They trail by 7 points. As we continue here in the first half. Magpies taking it along the ground, but can't pick it up cleanly. That's one of the keys right now. I mean, obviously, you've got rain here, you've got wet ground, and the ball's going to be wet, so that's making it a little more difficult to field those rolling balls off the ground. Helm trying to get it there, but he's pushed out by a Magpie. Soccer to head off the ground by the Demons. Heading toward the boundary line, and it looks like it'll be out. So we'll have another boundary throw in. Both teams lining up, and in it comes. Hit out to advantage by the Demons as they try to advance and increase their lead. Right now they lead 8-1. And the Demons have it, however, I'm sorry, the Magpies have it, but they kick it over to the Demons, and now the Demons have control. They kick it toward the sticks. And let's get the, looks like the verdict on that one is a behind, so once again, Boston, the Demons kicking another point, and now the score, 2 goals, 3 behinds, 15 points. To Dallas, who just have so far the single point. Free kick awarded to the Demons. Number 10's got it now. He kicks it towards the sticks. And in close, a very tight mark. Tough angle, but well within range. Umpire pointing out the mark for the Magpie player. And he kicks it. Taken by a Magpie just before it goes through the sticks. That looked like that was going through for a goal, but last-minute defense there by the Magpies stopped that one from becoming a sure goal. Nice job there by New York. And they'll just handball it off and try and kick it through the corridor now. And it's taken down, knocked down there. Demon got a hand on it, was able to knock it down. However, comes back, handball ahead. Winds up once again in Demon hands. They kick it toward the sticks, and that looks like it'll be another behind. Indeed it is. So now the Demons lead by 2-3. They lead right now. The score is 2 goals, 4 behinds, 16 points to Dallas once again with just the single point. And the Magpies take the kick in. The mark is taken. And almost taken by P.J. Devine of the Demons. Bounced off him, though. Bounced right off his chest.
You know what? I ran with the rain.
And we're floating a little bit here, but we're still going.
No problem. Sorry about that.
And let's see here. The kick goes through and right near the sticks, and once again taken by the Magpies. Magpies with a version of the bend but don't break defense. But once again, the Demons with a free kick. And this is a booming kick. It's going to be fielded right in front. Goes to ground. Nobody can get it cleanly. It's still on the ground now. It's taken out. Goes in the Magpies' direction, but then kicked forward. Demon trying to get his hands on it now. And Demon's got it. Tries to get the kick off. And shanks it, though. Goes way out. I believe it went out on the full. And comes down off the throw-in. Once again, the Demons try and knock it toward their goals. Ball is still in play. And once again, we got an issue with that pesky little bag that's there to keep the rain off the camera. Would be nice if we could keep the rain off the camera, but at the same time, we need to keep the camera on the action. So that's one of the challenges. I mentioned today we were having challenges with the weather, and you just witnessed one of them. And now on the far end of the ground. See a stoppage in play here. Throw it in. Yep, boundary throw in. And it's kicked ahead now. And the mark is taken by a member of the Demons. Demons now are just going to try and move it through. Get it to their attacking end of the ground. And it's knocked ahead by a couple of the Demons, and the Demons are on the way once again. Looking for somebody in front. Taken by a Magpie, though. Nice defensive mark by the player from the Dallas-Austin-Portland team. And the free kick taken, and I believe it's marked by a Demon. Indeed it is. And once again, bounces short. I believe that's Andrew Burns trying to get it, but the Demons have it right now. And it's a big kick toward their attacking half. And I believe the mark was taken there. Demons will have the kick. Kick toward the sticks. And let's see what we have for a decision there. I believe it was marked close in. Marked close in. And, oh, shanked. He had the kick. He was in really close, but unfortunately got a little too much direction on it the wrong way. Shanked the kick. And as a result, that's another behind for the Demons. They increased their score now. It's 2-5-17 to the Magpies' single point as this first half of action winds down. Magpies trying to do something with it now. They're able to kick it across. And that's going to do it for the first half of action. And as we take a break, we'll tell you that right now the score stands. The Boston, San Diego, Seattle Demons, 2 goals, 5 behind, 17 points. And the Dallas, Austin, Portland Magpies, 1 point. We'll be back next with second half action. You're watching Stateside Footy. We are here at the USAFL National in Austin, Texas. We'll be back with more right after this.
Hey, how's it going?
Sir, are you okay?
What? Oh, this? It's probably nothing. I'm sure it'll go away.
Go away? But, sir, that can't be good.
No, it's cool. Really.
Do you want a napkin or something?
Everything's fine. Thanks.
You wouldn't ignore this. So why ignore the signs of a stroke? At the first warning signs, call 911 immediately. Because time lost is brain lost.
Second half of action just about to start here between the Demons and the Magpies. Right now the Demons leading by a score of 17-1. And the ball goes up and they are about to toss it up. And the second half begins. And it's taken out of the ruck. Demons trying to hit out to advantage. Ball winds up going along the ground. And the Magpies will take it now. And they try and kick it up the corridor. And it goes off Demon hands. And right now it looks like the Demons have numbers in the vicinity of the ball. Indeed they do. And it looks like they'll come out with it. But then Magpies coming back with a couple of reinforcements. And the ball is going toward the boundary. And smother off that kick, and it looks like he'll have a boundary throw in now. Nice smother there by the Magpie. Of course, they swapped goals right now, so this is technically the Magpies' left forward pocket right now. They try and kick it to somebody, but it's spoiled, knocked out by a Demon. Magpies have it now. They try and handball it over. Goes through one player. Winds up going to, I believe that's Damian Hellum. And with it now, here come the Demons. They're going to kick it right through the corner. Sliding mark attempt not taken, and the Magpies bring it back right now. Handball comes off, big kick, and taken in. Bounces off a Demon trying to take a chest mark. He's able to pick it up, though, off the ground. And then kick it up the side, and it's taken by a member of the Magpies who's going to get a free kick. He kicks it up. Mark taken. Magpies moving into position, trying to come back here right now. They trail by 16 points. At this point, 8 points they can conjure up will be helpful. And it's handballed off and then goes over. And the kick in toward the goals. I believe that went out of bounds. So it'll be a boundary throw-in. Right now, 17-1, the score in favor of the Demons. As you hear the winds pick up again. Well, the winds and our plastic bag camera protection device, which has worked oh so swimmingly well today. Of course, in winds like this, you can't really complain, I guess. But getting set for a throw-in, and once again, a little bit of extracurricular bag activity, but they throw it in now, and the ball goes to ground. Both teams battle for it. No scoring so far this period. And it's kicked up now toward the Demons attacking half. Ball goes to ground. And the Magpies trying to move with it now. They're able to kick it ahead now as they try and bring it through the corner. However, let the Demons have control now. And they try and kick it out. They've got Hellum there. Hellum takes the mark. Kind of an uncharacteristic move for high-flying Hellum. He just stands there and it comes to him. He's better known for taking high marks and hangers and screamers, but that one just came to him. So did that one. But he's now able to get himself some space, and he kicks it up. Taken! Nice mark there overhead by a member of the Demons. And he's just going to kick it further up. In toward the goals. Ball is loose. Kicked toward the goals. It's a goal! .35-23 now for the Demons. as they score the first points of this second half. And they do it with authority with the major score. They've increased their lead now to 22 points. Things not looking good at the moment for the Magpies. Almost a quarter of a way through this second half. And they'll bring it back to a center of the ground once again to ball it up. And it's kicked ahead, but we've got a whistle. Some interference in the ruck, and I believe we've got a free kick being awarded to the Demons. So the Demons with a chance to capitalize, maybe put some more points on the board. And they kick it once again, going right up the corner. Knocked down by a Magpie, but then taken by a Demon. He's dispossessed. And right now the ball goes along the ground. Nice Shepherd! That was beautiful by a member of the Demons. He handballs it off, trying to make some space for themselves, but they can't. The Magpies have it now. Kick goes over. Fisted ahead by one of the Demons. And the Magpies trying to clear it now, as they're on the move. They can't hang on to it, though. Ball still goes to ground. Still a battle for it. Handballed back. And it's taken now by the Demons. Oh, let's see here. Holding the ball, it looks like, or are they just going to ball it up? No, it's definitely a free kick, holding the ball. One of the Demons got pinged for hanging onto the ball just a little too long. So far, the Demons have done the most with the ball when they've had it. And they're trying to move with it again. And we've got a rolling ball. It's skipping. And it's taken, I believe that's... thought that was Petrino who was going for it. David Petrino of the Demons. Goes through a couple of Magpies. And now the Magpies, under heavy pressure as the Demons turn it on. And that's going to go out of bounds. We'll have a boundary throw in at the Demons' right half forward flank. (23-1) right now. Demons over the Magpies. Helen with a kick. Long kick going toward the goals, and it bounces off a player, and it's going to be a run. Nope, not actually. I thought they were going to rush it through. They do now. That's just kicked through. That'll be a behind. It'll be another point for the Demons now. 3-6-24. 3 goals, 6 behinds, 24 points. And the Magpies so far only able to muster a single point through the course of this entire game. We're getting set once again. Free kick going to the Demons after all of that. That's the initial kick out taken by the Magpies. And now it's in Magpie hands, and they try and move it ahead. Part of me is so tempted. I'm watching the Magpies here. So tempted to say New York, but that would be the wrong team ID. And mark taken by the Magpies. The Dallas, Austin, Portland Magpies for all intents and purposes here. That's a big kick toward the sticks. And it bounces, though. Takes an unfriendly bounce. And that'll go through for a point. Had the momentum just the last second. It hit the corner and made a funny bounce. Wound up bouncing through the behind post. So it's another point. Dallas, good news is they doubled their score. Bad news is they went from 1 to 2. And they now trail by 22 points. And coming off that kick in, Dallas gets it once again. And try and move it toward the goal, but it's taken and marked in defense by a Magpie. And now it's given over to Helm. Helm with the mark. And now they kick it up toward their end. Magpies take the mark, though. And the kick goes up. And, oh, one of the Demons almost marked it, but the Magpies have it now. And, oh, just goes behind. They tried to handball it to a Magpie with an advantage, but they couldn't lead him to it, basically. So as a result, the Demons have the mark now. They play on. Kicks it right to a Magpie, though. And the Magpies are on the move again, right through the corridor, taking the bounce. Second bounce, and he loses control of the ball. The Demons pick it up, and now there's a battle for it just about at center. Still on the ground. Still loose. Magpies take it, handball it out. And Dallas just soccers it ahead. Battle for it along the ground right now. Whole bunch of players mixed up, and they're just going to ball it up. Just about to the halfway point of the second half. Dallas way behind. They're behind by more than 3 kicks now, more than 3 scores, down by 22. And the Demons once again seem to have the momentum, at least for the moment. However, there's a battle for it at center. And the Magpies are given the free kick. Free kick going to the Magpies. Big kick in. Goes to ground. As does everyone right around the ball. It looks like they'll ball it up this time. Indeed they will. Umpire will toss it up. And falls into Magpie hands now, however. He's taken down. Few players go to ground. Demons trying to advance it. Magpies trying to keep it just where it is. On the way, though, these are the Demons. They handball it ahead. And a nice shepherd by the Magpies, but with it now, I believe that's DeGeorge for the Demons. And let's see. I think he get pinged for running with it too long. Or did he? Yeah, Dallas free kick. And they deliver it right up the corner. Mark taken. And they move it further. Almost taken for a mark, goes to ground. And it's kicked ahead again by the Demons, heading for their attacking half. And let's see, looks like we've got a boundary throw-in taking place here, or is it a free kick? No, it's a free kick. Magpies, actually. Magpies free kick. And they've got it. They've got it kicked toward the sticks. It looks like it curved through, and it did. Magpies with their first major score of the match. That helps them cut into the lead a little bit. Score now. The Demons 3-6-24. Magpies 1-2-8. As we continue to count down time in this one. Still plenty of time for Dallas to come back. They can get in there. Demons trying to hit out to advantage. And the ball goes along the ground. Winds up in Demon hands, and here we go. They've got somebody lined up, and he takes the mark, and he's going to play on. Here come the Demons once again. Another kick in, goes over everyone's head. Goes toward the goals, but it's taken by Magpie. It's smothered there, though. Battle for it just about right in the goal square, and kick blocked. It's in the forward pocket now. Oh, I think that was a throw. Indeed it was. He got pinged for a throw, trying to keep it from going out of bounds. Magpies will get the free kick in their own back pocket. Hellam with the spoil, and it goes right to another Demon player. Hellam's got it now. Kicks it in, looking for a teammate, and gets a Magpie. Magpies right now, down by 16. Best way to do that would be 3 goals. But once again, the Demons are very tenacious there today. And kick goes in, goes to ground. Magpies are there. Demons in pursuit. Magpies able to get it to the boot and kick it out. a stoppage in play. Did that go out on the full? I think it may have. And let's see. Kick in goes through everybody. Demons had it momentarily, but they can't advance it to take a shot on goal. And kicked now by the Magpies. But under there is the Demon. And they've got it. He's going to play on, just kick it right up. And Rich Fuller now with the mark. He'll have the set shot. We'll see if he can kick one this far, or if he'll just try and set someone up. There we go. Just goes right past the man on the mark. Kicks it toward the sticks. And I believe we've got another behind here. Indeed we do, but importantly, the Demons continue to add to their lead. They're now up by 23, 3-7-25. I'm sorry, not 23. It would be 17. 3-7-25 to 1-2-8. Looking at the previous score for a second there, but they're now up. They're not up by 23 anymore. They're up by 17. And then the kick in, taken back, and he's going toward the goals, and he's got it. Demons scoring another major, and now it's a 23-point difference. 4-7-31 to 1-2-8. And they will bring it back to center and ball it up once again. I believe we're past the 5-minute point as far as 5 minutes left to go in the game. So Magpies are going to have to get some clean clearances and possessions and make things happen in a hurry. They're down by 23, so they need 4 goals to hit the front. At this point, too, they could play just for the pride of it. 31-8 right now in favor of the Demons. And off the center contest, once again, they hit out to advantage. And the kick heading out for the D's. All right. Let's see what we've got going on here. I believe it's a boundary throw in. Yes, it is. Right in the left forward pocket of the Demons. And they kick it toward the goals, and that go out on the full, or is that a point? Don't see a flag anywhere. And the Magpies are kicking it out, so it did indeed go on the out on the full. And they get it to the center of the ground now, and they try and move it ahead. Here come the Magpies. Big kick. Heading toward their 50. Spoiled by a couple of Demons. Still a battle for it. It looks like we'll have a free kick. Now with it is Damian Helm for the Demons. Tries to bounce it, but then the bounce, he skips it and just is able to get rid of it. Gets it to a teammate, and then the Demons still have it. And they kick it back into their own territory, looking for somebody to take it on the lead. And they do. Demons with another mark. Perfect shot. And a great shot for a goal right here. Nice set shot. Let's see what they can do with this. As the Demons player takes the free kick. Up it goes. It's curving a little bit. And did it even make it anywhere? Oh, I see one flag going up, so that is a behind. 4-8-32 now. So the Demons now up by 24 with just under 2 minutes left to go in the match. And at this point, you could pretty much say they're home. Barring some type of freakish multiple clearance comeback. Demons kick it back toward their goals. Takes a bounce in front. Lands in the middle of a sea of people. And let's see here. Late in the game now. Commanding lead by the Demons. Magpies still trying to get something in there. Once again, the weather playing a little bit of havoc with some of our preparations today. It's kicked in now and going after it, a couple of the Demons. I believe that's Helm there going after it. Indeed it is. And he kicks it once again towards the front of the sticks. Taken a defense, though, by a member of the Magpies, and they have to move it now. Although, really, at this point, it's academic, but you want to think that at this point they're playing for pride. Try and cram in as much as we can here before it's all over. And the kick taken off a bounce by a Magpie. Not marked. And the Demons trying to just kick it out, get it back into their attacking half of the ground. And let's see here. Awaiting the free kick now. And that's going to do it. That's the end of the game. The Demons reserves had their first test today here in Austin, and they came away with flying colors, as well as their counterparts, their cohorts from San Diego and Seattle. Final score here at Onion Creek Soccer Park, the Boston, San Diego, Seattle Demons, 4 goals, 8 behinds, 32 points. The Dallas, Austin, Portland Magpies, 1 goal, 2 behinds, 8 points. That'll do it for this edition of Stateside Footy. Of course, this will finish up at least this part of our action. We gave you 2 games today, but while these 2 games were played, they've got 5 fields going on simultaneously, so a number of other games that were played. So before we wrap up for today, let's take a look at the other games and the other action that took place while we were bringing you footy action here on Stateside Footy. Well, the men kick off the next slate of action in the third part of Stateside Footy Goes to the Nationals as they take on the host team, the Austin Crows. Should be a pretty tough-fought match because from what I've seen of the Crows so far, they are a tough-looking club. And then later on, we'll bring you some more men's A-team action as they take on the Chicago United Club. That's coming up next time on another installment of Stateside Footy Goes to the Nationals. Till then, on behalf of camera person Stacey Robert, I'm Bill Robert, reminding you that Stateside Footy is the cable show that brings you the sport that's Australian-made and American-played. You can find it on cable and online at www.statesidefootytv.com. Thank you once again for watching Stateside Footy.